Hi friends, have a nice day. Today I'll share some lesser-known stories about Gandhi with you. This isn't meant to insult him, but he wasn't exactly the man we often imagine him to be. Let's move to the video. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the most famous and influential figures of the 20th century. His ideas of ahimsa, non-violence, and satyagraha, truth force, shaped India's freedom struggle and inspired civil rights movements around the world. But Gandhi was also a human being with contradictions, personal beliefs, and actions that have drawn sharp criticism. Scholars, activists, and historians have debated these points for decades. In this video, we will look honestly at some of the criticisms. His views on race in South Africa, his views and politics regarding caste, his authoritarian behavior within family and movement, his controversial sexual experiments, his political decisions during India's freedom struggle, Gandhi's early views on race. Before becoming a world-famous leader, Gandhi lived in South Africa, 1893 to 1915, where he fought for the rights of Indians. In his writings from this period, Gandhi sometimes made derogatory remarks about black Africans, calling them Kafirs, a now recognized racial slur. He campaigned mainly for better treatment of Indians, rather than universal equality for all races. Some quotes from his writings suggest he saw Indians as superior in civilization to Africans. Later in life, Gandhi broadened his worldview, but these early views remain troubling for modern scholars and activists, especially in South Africa. His position on caste and untouchability. Gandhi did a lot to challenge the mistreatment of people labelled as untouchables. He gave them the name Harijans, children of God, and campaigned to open temples and wells to them. But critics, especially Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, a Dalit leader and the architect of India's constitution, pointed out that Gandhi did not demand a total abolition of the caste system, Varna. Instead, Gandhi wanted to reform it by making upper castes treat lower castes kindly. But he defended the broader structure of Varna as part of Hindu tradition. When Dalit leaders demanded separate electorates so that Dalits could elect their own representatives, authoritarian behavior in personal and political life. Gandhi preached non-violence and humility, but he was also known to be very strict and even authoritarian, especially with his own family. His eldest son, Harilal Gandhi, became estranged and suffered deeply from Gandhi's strict rules and expectations. In his ashrams, spiritual communities, Gandhi set strict rules about food, celibacy, brahmacharya, and daily routines. Those who disobeyed could be publicly criticized or expelled. Some colleagues and historians have described Gandhi as controlling, sometimes making final decisions without listening to others. One of the most debated aspects of Gandhi's private life involves his brahmacharya, vow of celibacy, experiments. In his later life, Gandhi shared beds and sometimes slept naked next to young women, including his great-niece Manu Gandhi, to test his self-control and commitment to celibacy. He claimed this would purify his mind and body and demonstrate mastery over sexual desire. These experiments were shocking, even to many of his close associates at the time. Today, they are widely criticized as unethical, especially because of the power difference between Gandhi and the women involved. Some historians argue Gandhi's actions reflected the context of Hindu ascetic traditions. But most modern scholars, and nearly all feminists, see this as an abuse of power and deeply problematic. Political decisions that drew criticism. Stopping mass movements suddenly. During the non-cooperation movement, 1920–22, Gandhi called off protests after violence in Chauri Chaura, where a mob burned a police station. Many activists were disappointed. They felt Gandhi's decision wasted years of work. Focus on moral purity over strategy. Some colleagues, like Subhas Chandra Bose and Bhagat Singh, criticized Gandhi for being too idealistic and unwilling to use any form of violence or armed resistance, even against a brutal colonial regime. Partition of India. Gandhi opposed the idea of dividing India into Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan. But critics say he could not stop partition, which led to massive violence and millions of deaths. Some feel his moral authority was not effective at that moment. Criticism of views on women. Though Gandhi supported women's participation in politics and spoke against child marriage, some of his writings show patriarchal ideas. He believed women should primarily serve as mothers and caretakers. His controversial celibacy experiments are criticized today as deeply disrespectful to women's dignity. What can we learn? Gandhi's life shows how a person can be both deeply inspiring and deeply flawed. His commitment to non-violence, truth, and mass mobilization changed history. His racial prejudice, authoritarian methods, caste politics, and sexual experiments remind us that no leader should be above criticism. Remembering both sides, the greatness and the failings, helps us see Gandhi as a human being, not as a saint beyond question. I think you have learned something new from today's video. Please subscribe us and share this to your friends. Also, if you learned something, it will be a help for others also. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.